Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Nellie with Designs. This is the final installment, the final part to my last page in the Yo-Yo Journal before I ship it out to Liz over in Scotland. I won't explain the front just yet. I'll wait till we get it. We're going to get this in the book today. So I'm going to move the journal, and I wanted to show you in the last video, I thought I might put a zipper in the side and make a nice little page pouch for her. I've decided not to do that. I thought it would be more homespun and natural if I use some sari silk and I just make a nice tie. This will be going in the left-hand side of the book, and I'm just going to make a nice tie, nice bow here. So I'm going to incorporate the sari silk in here, and I'd love to have you stick around and see how I do this. It's not going to be anything elaborate. I'm not going to be doing it right, putting the right sides together and flipping this. I don't want it to be that manicured, I guess I could say. I do want to have the top stitching along here. I won't have any top stitching on here, but I will do the stitching on here and on here, the top and bottom, and I will be doing it on the sides. So again, I just want it to be a little more natural. So I'd love to have you stick around to see how this all transpires. Like I said, I will be putting it in the book. So if you're new to my channel, again, I'd love to have you stick around and see how this comes out, and subscribe, comment, and I want to thank you if you do that. And for all of my returning viewers, I know summer is very, very busy. And some of you are still, being a real trooper and tuning in, and I really appreciate it. I'm outside a lot. I've got by the time you see this, my week will be over, but my girlfriend's coming in from Troy, Michigan for 10 days. Actually more than 10 days. It's almost 2 weeks. I pick her up Friday. Today is a Wednesday. I pick her up Friday. Tomorrow's her anniversary, so I'm going to be gone all day. So between the inside, the outside, getting Liz's book done, it's very busy for me right now. So I just wanted to show you this and how I was going to do it. I'm going to head over here to my left. I'm going to swivel to my left and head over to my sewing machine, and I'm going to get this stitched, and I will be right back. All right, so I just wanted to show you, I have the side ribbons stitched on, and I didn't just go and stitch them in. I stitched them on the inside lining just to make it that much more secure. Okay, so they're extra. I just want to trim these off. Maybe I'll wait to trim them. I'll tuck them in. I don't really want to cut them short. So I could normally, these are little things you have to think about. I could just start stitching here along here. I don't want to do that. I want to make sure my top stitch is on the front. And this here, I'm going to just tuck that in. I don't want that little extra piece sticking out. So the next thing I'll be doing is I will be pinning this to the front. I'm going to take my time. I can start here. I just want to make sure that everything is pretty much lined up. You can see this isn't really, I may have to trim this a little bit, bring this back in. There's a little, maybe I can do it this way. Yeah, I think this was the way that I cut it. And I just want to make sure that this gets lined up fairly well. So what I'm going to do to start is I'm going to just pin the inside here just to hold it, so when I flip it over, it will still be in position and I won't have to monkey around with it really good. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect because this is a very, I think, a very natural way of doing it. So here I have it in position, and I'm just going to flip it this way, and then as I start pinning here, now I have to think when I sew it, what I will do, and this is why I have to talk this out, I think I will stitch, let's see, I don't know if I want to just, I want to make sure I stitch it. I don't know if I want 2 stitches on here or not. Maybe what I will do is I will use some Fabri-Tac and get the, I don't really want to use Fabri-Tac either. I think what I will do is I will just fold it over like this, and I will make my stitches right here. I will just go ahead. I think I will do a zigzag stitch because that will pick it up better. Down here, I'm going to have to be very careful when I stitch. I'm going to have to raise all of this little ribbon up because I don't want to catch any buttons or anything. I'm going to have to come a little more to the bottom. So I think that's what I will do. Instead of pinning it all around, I'll just modify the pins here by changing it. Let's just change it up this way a little bit. Actually, I need to do this, don't I? Let's move this down. Okay. And then I will flip this. Well, hold on. Okay, so I have to. So the first thing I'm going to do is, thank you. I will hold this here. I'm going to have to stitch my sides, right? I'm going to have to get this stitched so it holds it in place. And it kind of seals that for the pouch because I don't want anything getting stuck. Okay. All right. So what I will do first is I will run my stitch on each side down here. All right. So this will make the closure. Then what I will do is I will flip it over. This will be stitched, and then I'm going to stitch just the top and the bottom. And then that should be good. All right. I'll see you in a minute. Okay. I have it all stitched and it came out really nice. Here's the inside pouch, the pocket pouch. And as you know, when I get done stitching something, I just, for the back, I flip it over, and if I can find my, which I can, I think without getting my head in the way, I like to find the front, and I like to get that pulled through. So it's more of a clean, now this one may not be it, hold on here. Yeah, this is it. It just might be stuck there. I may not have to do it. It might be tight enough. So I'm just going to clip this one because I went back and forth just to reinforce it. So I think I can just clip that because this, I just don't want any extra threads hanging. So see, if you pull it, you can just find that loop and bring it through. And then these I'm just going to clip. Usually I will knot them. I will tie them off, but I don't think I need to on this. There we go. I'm really pleased. You know, sometimes I get a vision in my head. Most of the time, I'd say 98% of the time, I can figure it out and pull it off. Sometimes I can't. And I've been laying awake. When I wake up, lots of times I can't sleep, and I wake up at 1, 2, or 3, and I get thinking about some of these things I want to do. And I go over them and over them and over them again in my mind. And isn't that sweet? Okay, so let's get it in the book and then I'll explain it. And I have one more. I found this, and I love flowers. And that's one reason why I created this page for Liz. I'm just going to clip that. I don't want that hanging down. I created this for her. I'll explain why. I'm going to add those. That's my ribbon embroidery. I'm going to add those to it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm not going to glue this straight away in the book. This is another thing I was thinking about. I want to put a backing on this. I want to put a paper backing on it that I can attach. Now, I don't know. I'm going to cut this down. This is just a index card. I don't know if my double-sided tape would, I'm sorry, let me get this done first. I do this to my family too. They'll ask me something and I'm right in the middle of something and I can't talk and do something at the same, so they have to wait for me. I really don't want to glue this down. I want to maybe just adhere it with some double-sided tape and then take this and glue it on the page. That way down the road, if, I don't know, whoever gets this or, you know, whatever, that maybe they could take this out and use it for something else. So first I'm going to try my double-sided tape to see if it will hold onto the fabric. If not, okay, so be it. I'm going to try a little piece in the middle. And I'll see what happens. I'm going to put a piece here. I think it might hold. Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, I think that may do it. I'm going to try a smaller piece of paper just for the heck of it, just to see. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. I think that'll be fine. And then, although I don't want, maybe what I'll do is I'll put 2 little dabs. I'll use the Sook Wang. Then I'll put 2 little dabs of glue in the corners. I just don't want to put a whole bunch of glue on this. I'd rather glue the paper down. All right, so this is down, and I think this will work out just fine. And then what I'm going to do is when I put it in the page, yeah, that's going to hold just nicely. I'm going to put some dabs of glue here, and I'm going to use my art glitter glue. And I think that will be good. So actually, let's get this on first. And I'm going to get my new bottle. If I use that bottle there, it's just going to really be a mess. So do my little spaghetti twirl. Oh, this is messy, messy, messy. Yeah, I think we're going to put that right there because I don't want to cover everything up. And I think this will just add the final touch here. Tuck that under the roof a little bit. There we go. Isn't that cute? I'm really pleased the way this came out. Would I ever make something like this in my page, in my book? No. What's the old saying? I won't spend, $50 on something for me, but I'll go out and spend $100 on my girlfriend's birthday present. Not that I do that, but it's just an example. My girlfriend's getting that beautiful pincushion, which I'm not going to see her on her birthday. Our anniversary is tomorrow. I've even lost track what year this is. Let's see. 81, 84, 94, 14, 18. I don't know. It's 30. It's close to 40 years. I don't know. I don't remember. Isn't that terrible? All I know is we were married in 1984. So you do the math. Okay. So I think that's good. So I think tomorrow our friends are gonna be with us. We're gonna go to Burlington, Vermont for the day, and maybe I'll give her present tomorrow because her birthday's August 2nd. I'm not gonna see her, but maybe I'll surprise her and drop by the house. Okay, so that is done. Let's find our page and we'll get this glued in. So far, let me just clear it here. I'll show you what is going over to Scotland. So remember we have the little gnome pages with the tag here. Isn't he cute? We have this little tag, and then we have a little tag in here. The Celebrated Jumping Frog and Curious Dream. A little fern on the back, couple little tags in here. It's a cute little pocket. And then we have the Weowaka, which is in my area. I thought she'd like to know about that. George O'Keeffe used to stay there. Then we have this sweet little pocket with some more embroidery. Cute little tag with the jumping bunnies. So we have that, more embroidery. And then this I made this morning. This is a cute, and if anybody, I'd like to make these do a little tutorial on these. This is really sweet. This is a sweet idea. And it wasn't mine. I saw it from a gal on Instagram that made these. But I have a lot of the Post-it. I don't call them Post-it. They're fold-it notes. And I used to buy these from Current and Hallmark years ago. Fold a note. But see, they've got the 3, and I don't want to fold this. Well, I can fold this one. So you used to fold these. This was back in the 70s, and these were really big back then. And these were your fold notes. And then you'd put your stamp and address, and off you would go. This is what you would write your letters on. And this just brings back so many memories for me. So these are all, and I actually had these in the 70s, and I found a gal online selling these. I don't know if these are from Current. I think these are Hallmark. And I scarfed these up. These are Hallmark. So I have a lot of fold-it notes to put in my junk journals because I just adore them. They just bring back so many memories when I used to write letters. So this is a fold-it note. So you leave it plain, and then you actually make a tag out of it. Isn't that adorable? So I used a bingo card because I wanted a little more reinforcing. And if Liz wants to cover this up on the back and put another note on here or write a note on the top, she can. But this here is for her to write a note on or whatever. And I just think this doesn't slide. This is actually a pouch, a pocket in here. And you just slide it back down in, and there you have it. And then this I made in one of my other videos, and I couldn't use it on, I think I tried this for the gnome tag, and I think it looks adorable there. It's just one of the Tim Holtz clips with a little hook, and I did the little Sorry Silk. I love this. I think this is really cute. So I'll do a tutorial on this to show you how to make these. These are really cute. And then I have over here, the last page I had on here was her back pocket. And I have 2 really pretty postcards of an abbey over in Scotland. And this is the Pluscarden Abbey in Elgin, Scotland. And I thought she would appreciate those. And then this is some history on Weowaka. So all we have to do is find a page to put this in. And I think I was going to put this up here a little closer to the front. I thought that would be pretty there. I don't want to put it up against the blue. I want to also leave her pages to that's pretty there with the, I think maybe that might be the page because it looks like a garden gate next door. So I think that's going to be the page there that I'm going to put this on. So what I'm going to do is I will glue this down because I want this to hold really well in there. So, and as you know, the art glitter glue is fabulous. I am going to use one piece of the Sukwang because it takes an act of God to pull this off of paper. And I'm not going to worry about leaving this a little bit of room there. I kind of like how it's a little free-flowing. Let me just unclog my barrel here. I lost my pin to put in here. And some of these pins aren't stainless steel. And then they turn, if I leave them in there, they turn the glue brown. See, that's kind of brown. I don't like that. I can't like that. So I hope you try one of these little cloth pouches. I think they're just adorable. They'd be adorable in your journals. Takes time, but I think it's well worth it. And I love doing the slow stitching. And I have to thank Becca over at Willow Hill Designs again for the inspiration in creating this page, because she made a beautiful page through the Roxy Creations, those books that those girls do over there. And I wanted to do a cottage for Liz because Scotland. So I'll explain this page here, and I'll tell you everything that I did for Liz's page here. We'll save the best for last, right? Okay, so I'm going to just let this adhere, and let's tie up the bow. I wanted to make sure, that's the other thing, make sure that your ribbon is long enough, but not too long. To make a little bow on the side. So see, when she closes it, she'll have that in there. Oh, it's just adorable. I think she's going to love it. Okay, so my thought process on this page, over in the UK, as you know, there's a lot of cottages and beautiful small little buildings and villages. I'm watching a really nice show on Amazon right now. It's about all the small villages throughout the UK, in Wales and England, and they tell you what's the difference between a town and a village, and then you visit the village, and it's a lovely series, and the scenery is just magnificent. So with Liz living in Scotland, I wanted to create a little cottage for her. And this isn't her Scottish plaid. I mean, there's a lot of plaid. You've heard of Scottish plaid. But because my favorite color, and again, this is the way I'm viewing these yo-yo books, going back and forth, I'm putting things in her book that I like. I like the colors, and I like the gnomes, and so it's everything that I like. So she gets to learn more about me through my art and what I do. So we have a cute little, I'm going to call this little Scottish plaid cottage, and here I used the seam binding, if you haven't seen the other previous videos. So I used this seam binding here to bring the house together. And I just folded it over and I stitched it on. I did a slow stitch on each side. And then we have our little roof here. And you can see here, I glued a doily on here. Okay, it's a piece of a doily. I wanted to make a nice, almost like an arch. I attached that with slow stitching throughout, so that's adhered really well. And then I went back on the roof and I did some slow stitching in a contrasting color, not too contrasting, to attach the roof on here. And it just gives it a little more character and a little more texture. And then I have some DMC very sparkly thread. I needed at one time, I created some tropical fish, not a painting, but a counter cross stitch of tropical fish. And it needed this really fun, shiny, colorful. So I added this to the chimney and made it appear like it was bricks on there. And then you saw in the video before here where I added material. I cut little pieces right here of these flowers. All of these little flowers here came from this piece of material here. And I cut them out. And then again, I used some sparkly. I have some real pretty bright fuchsia. And I used the sparkly to attach those down. So just to give it a little more flair. And then, whoops, here's a thread. And then this is the crinkly ribbon, and I put that on there to look like a meadow out in front, grassy meadow. Underneath, I have a piece of just green fabric. And again, you go back and watch my 2 previous videos, and I do some step-by-steps here of how I laid it out and my thought process. This is a little cloud up here. And again, it's part of this doily here. And then I found some other crocheted pieces, and that's what makes up the little garden gate here. And then I attached a little, well, I had more on here, but gosh darn, it came off. I don't know what happened, but I had a green, this was a 3-tiered, maybe the holes ended up being too big. My needle was a little too big maybe. But this is the little doorknob here, and I'm going to put, because I see that that came off, but I'm going to put a little bit, this dries clear, but I'm going to put a little bit of glue on there to hold it, because I don't want to lose that. And maybe I'll put just a little tiny bit underneath. I just noticed that and here's my green. Here it is over here. Huh. So that came off. That's a surprise. But I had 3 sequins on this. I put 3 sequins on there. So that will dry. That will dry clear. I'll put that little bit of glue on there just to secure that. Okay. Okay, all right. Okay, so that's the little doorknob. Then we have our window. And this stitch here is a blanket stitch. And I just think these are really cute. It kind of makes it look old and medieval, something that you would see in Scotland on a door. And the same up here with the window. And then some more little vines and the flowers. And then I added some buttons. I wanted a little bit more depth and texture. So I added a few buttons last night, and again with a metallic thread to give it that little sparkle. And then here I added some gold sequins and some little pearls on top. Again, to give it a little more depth. And then over here, I just did a funky stitch that I came up with myself just to outline the sidewalk here. It's almost like a, well, I don't know what they call it, but I did just a fun little funky stitch just to outline that. And then I found this morning. I thought there was too much white space here. So I found my ribbon embroidery, nice piece of ribbon embroidery I had done. And I wanted to, so that's like hollyhocks climbing up the side. And I know they have hollyhocks over in the UK and over in Scotland. So that's it. So she has a nice little pocket page here that she can put things in or whatever she wants to do with it. But I think it's something she'll like. I think it's very cute. It's something that she can use, and it doesn't really take up that much room in here, and this adds a little bit of fluff to the side. So that is it. This is it's all ready. It can be sent over to Liz, and then she can work on her 10 pages and then send it back to me, and then I'll finish 10 more and then send it back to her, and it's hers. So that is it for today, everybody. I hope you liked this video. If you did, I'd love to hear your comments. I'd love to have you give me a thumbs up. And yeah, when I receive my journal from Liz, I'll show everything that she's done in mine, and then I will work in it, and we will just continue with the yo yo project. All right, everybody, have a great day. Bye bye.